Hello and welcome back to the Dogon podcast.
We appreciate you guys coming in. Oh, sorry.
My name is Tristan Berryhill.
And I'm Alex Strepney. Same guys as before.
Yep.
Hopefully you weren't looking for somebody new, because
it's
just going to be us for a while, probably.
Won't change for a long time, but
I mean, we're going to start adding some guests hopefully here soon, but we're just kind of going through and grinding out, just talking about different things and what's going on in our world. And one of the things that shocked the hell out of me yesterday was Elon Musk and Trump talking on Twitter.
There's a strange little thing happening.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going on and talking to like everybody, I feel like now.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people who didn't like him before, like influential people who are coming out and being like, we need to vote for this guy.
Right.
Like, this is a serious deal. And one of the most interesting things that I found was when Elon Musk hosted this, his company came under DDoS attacks, and they couldn't get the actual chat going,
right,
because of the hacks that were taking place against X. And I just think that's crazy that, when Musk tries to go on and talk about things that are important, and this isn't the first time this has happened, when he's had other influential people on his platform, it seems like people attack that company.
Shut it down.
Yeah. And it's like a lot of people complained that they couldn't get in. I was able to jump right in, no problem. It was
probably different people in different areas.
Yeah.
That they're hitting like the local servers or whatever.
There was like 70 million people in there.
Yeah, it was nuts.
I mean, that like blew my mind. And to hear Elon Musk, I mean, he did not mince words. He did not dance around it. He was like, I am 100% supporting Donald Trump for president in every way, shape, or form. I mean, the stuff he said about Kamala was wild. Like, I mean, he does not like her, and I don't know. It was kind of funny because Trump had like a little bit of a lisp from it's probably something else that somebody was hacking and doing, but it was like this little at the end when he'd say stuff.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to hear, Elon Musk, like the richest man in the world, and that we know of, and Donald Trump, who is, wealthy, but nowhere near the wealth of Elon Musk. Like, Elon is like hundreds of times more wealthy than Donald Trump. And the way that they communicated was interesting. They would only say partial statements or partial phrases back and forth to each other, or they would interrupt each other and know what the other person was saying, because they were looking at things from a wider view and from a bigger perspective. They weren't just like, oh, well, we can't have illegal immigration because of this. They were like, no, it does this, and that. It causes the problem to get worse here, here, and here. And I don't know, just to see Elon Musk's turnaround over the last couple of years, like, he's got some mad hatred towards the Democratic Party.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty interesting to see unfold.
I know you listened to it, like a few minutes with me as well, like when I had it on, just because I was like, this is so cool, this is so wild. But like, Elon Musk is not like a polished speaker. He
not
was
at all.
He was stuttering. He had to go back and say things.
I don't think he's really used to doing camera stuff or like being on video or anything, much like me. But
I think it's like not even in his mind. Like, he doesn't even, like, he's like, oh yeah, I'll talk with Trump, but then like he gets there and he's like, okay, there's millions of people, 70 million, but yeah, it was really interesting to see them like laughing and talking about certain aspects in our society that most people don't realize. Even like him talking about global warming and global cooling, and how Elon's like, I don't understand, people like are attacking me because I'm saying Trump is our best choice because of X, Y, and Z. And then they're saying like, oh, you don't care about the climate. And he's like, I'm doing electric vehicles, I'm doing solar panel roofs. He's like, everything I do is to protect our future. And the most important thing that we need to protect right now is the country's future. And it was just, I don't know, it was just wild.
It was interesting.
He's never been involved in politics like this before.
Right.
Like he's come out and said a few things, but he's never been this active. Like, what made Elon Musk get so excited about Donald Trump?
I don't know. I think being in a call with him and being on live with 70 million people, I mean, it probably just brought it out of him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just recently after I think it was after the debate is when Elon Musk first tweeted out, like, I support Donald Trump or something like that. And, and now since that debate, we've seen him just like rally up behind him and say he's going to put millions. And then, if you look at what Kamala Harris and what's his last name, Waltz, put out, they put out a statement about how the X platform was so terrible, people could barely log in, people could, this is ridiculous that he would use his influence and position to, but they use like Beyonce and all these different actresses and at all their rallies.
But whenever it's someone you don't like, it's like, oh no.
Don't do that. That's not right. And it's, I don't know. The whole thing was pretty wild. But what I liked most about it was it was like a fireside chat. Like back in the day, was it Kennedy? I can't remember what president it was, but maybe it was Roosevelt. I don't know. But they did a radio fireside chat where the president called into the radio and would just talk and just tell what's going on,
right?
And sometimes talk to people, and I thought that was the closest thing we've gotten to like a fireside chat, a direct communication from our leadership, and he's not our leadership right now, whatever, but I don't know. It was super authentic. It didn't seem, very well planned or orchestrated. It was just kind of like we're just chatting.
Like, all right, let's turn on the live stream and talk about something.
Exactly, and they did, and they talked about immigration. They talked about, like it was interesting where they talked about how even Elon Musk brought this up, how we couldn't fly back people who were illegally brought here by from Ecuador or different countries. We couldn't fly them back. These countries would line up the runways with planes so that we couldn't land the plane to return these illegal immigrants that have came in. And when they were asked about it, they were like, no, we do not accept MS-13 gang members. We do not accept, they're not allowed to come back into the country. And it was like, oh, so they're allowed to go to our country.
Yeah, but we can't send them back.
We can't bring them back. And I didn't realize this, but Trump was like, fine, then you won't get any more aid from us financially. And he said they cleared the runways.
Interesting.
So it's like, money talks, and to hear the way Donald Trump talked about it, it was fun. He laughed. He was like, yeah, I told them they would get their money. and they cleared the runways. Oh, we'd be glad to have them back. And it was like, people don't realize that, most of our politicians have been playing checkers, and Trump is playing chess, and we need somebody who's thinking a few moves ahead, and we need somebody who is looking out for the best interest of everybody, not just the majority, but even the smallest minority in our country. We have to have somebody who's looking out for the best for everybody. And I don't know if that's just Trump, but I'm waiting to see other candidates and other politicians talk about real things and talk about real issues like Trump is.
Right.
Like you said, he's going on with everybody's talking. I mean, Logan Paul, Aiden Ross. I mean,
it is crazy.
How is that happening?
He's just going around and doing it for everybody.
It's like he's, it just clicked.
I think once he got shot at, he's like, man, I need to get my thoughts and opinions out there or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty interesting to see the way that he has been. And it just clicked with me, maybe he's following the Andrew Tate model. Do you know who Andrew Tate is?
I do, sort of.
He did this thing where he just went on 1 million podcasts and had a bunch of people put out clips with him on all these different podcasts. And he became the most Googled person in the world overnight. Right. And now we see Donald Trump with all these different people, and it's people are constantly talking about Donald Trump with Aiden Ross, Donald Trump with Elon Musk.
Well, once he's more I guess once he's talked to people that everybody knows are really well-known streamers or fucking people who are just, talking about this stuff, I don't know, it's just interesting how they interact. I don't know.
Yeah, and people who you would normally think would be hostile towards him seem to like the guy.
Yeah.
And I think one of his big moves was he started doing this like golf video where he like does these small short clips of him riding around with people in his golf cart.
Yeah.
That shit is hilarious. Like, I think even if you hate Trump and you watch that, you'd be like, this guy's funny. Because like the stuff the way he acts, the stuff he says, the music he listens to, he's like, oh yeah, we got to get Sinatra on. We got to get, the Beatles. Everybody loves the Beatles. Like, and what I found, another thing I found kind of weird is, Aiden Ross gave Trump a Rolex and gave him that Cybertruck. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he gave him a Rolex and then bought him a Cybertruck and wrapped it in like Donald Trump stuff, right? And he sat there and listened to some music with Aiden Ross in this Cybertruck. Well, Trump did not accept those gifts.
Really?
And I didn't know this, but a lot of time, almost all the time, when Trump is giving gifts, he gives it to his kids.
So did he actually give those to his kids?
Yeah, no, he refused the gifts in writing, and said, Aiden, if you want, you can give it to
my
Eric
kids.
Jr. Or, yeah, like, and so Aiden Ross came out and actually made a video like, hey guys, so no, Trump didn't take the Rolex, he didn't take the the Cybertruck, it's going to his son. I can't remember which one it was, but and he's like, yeah, so we're just giving it to him instead, and it'll be cool. Like, Trump is to the point where this is such like an idealistic or like a purpose driven, like he doesn't even care about that shit.
Right.
Somebody gave me a Cybertruck, I don't care how rich I was, I'd be like, thank you.
Right, I'll take it. Sure.
I'll take that shit.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so it's been a wild couple weeks politically, and I think it's only going to get crazier.
Yeah.
Now, like, there's going to be a debate with Trump and Kamala. There was supposed to be one on ABC, and now there's supposed to be one on Fox. I don't know what's right, what's true, but I don't know. And we're not trying to like, say anything about any particular political party or side. I just find all this so fascinating.
About it,
I just find it so fascinating that we've never seen a president do TikToks like this and do like, it's wild to me.
Pretty strange.
And it's weird how many people who, like, I never thought Logan Paul would ever give any type of support to Donald Trump ever.
Yeah.
And maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was just trying to get views. I don't know. But that it's been wild, and I think people are starting to kind of wake back up to Kamala Harris. I mean, I think it's wild that the Democratic Party just like sidesteps everybody else and just like, okay, Kamala is going to be the presidential nomination. Like,
right?
Like, why? I don't think that's the will of of people on the Democratic side. Like, I don't. And I know they had their convention and she got all the awarded votes or whatever was necessary, but it just all seems really weird to me.
Yeah, it seems like planned in some kind of way, but
right?
I don't know.
Like weirdly planned. And Trump is going around saying that we had our first coup in the United States, that they forced Joe Biden out. He didn't want to leave. They forced him out so that Kamala could take over. And Trump's saying that, and he hasn't been sued. He hasn't been, nobody's challenged that. It's just like, that's kind of like hush, hush, quiet.
And
it's
we
like,
do have a little bit of concrete being ripped up as well, so I don't know if you can hear that, but
yeah, if you guys can, it's one of those things in life where shit happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna take them forever, dude. Okay, when they got here, okay, so they're sitting there with the skid steer, lifting up the pieces, but in order to break them, they're using sledgehammers. So they got these two guys out there like over and over again, no cracks, nothing, just chips hitting them in the face. And the guy on the skid steer's like, like telling him what to do. And it's like, dude, get a hammer jack. Like, what are you doing? So it's going to take them a minute. They did about 600 square feet in 8 hours yesterday. I felt bad for those guys.
It's crazy. They only got like a little small portion done, but
yeah,
I don't know. We're getting out of this hoe anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah, trying to move to something bigger, something better, so that we can have more room, have more focus, have more clarity. Not feel like we have to deal with a pool party every day.
All these crazy people.
There's a lot of stuff where it's like, man, that needs to end. Like, I can't do that anymore.
I hate this place anymore. I mean, it's just terrible.
I know. It really is frustrating, but at the same time, it's like, I remember when I was in northern Michigan, and I hated it for a little bit. I hated it. Yeah, because it was like I was heating my house with wood. It was like negative 10 degrees out every day. I had no money. I had no job prospects within 2 hours that I could work, a car that was, breaking down. It was just like, it was a terrible spot.
Right.
But what came out of that was the most personal growth and development I've ever had in my entire life, because I realized, like, one day it like snapped, where I was like, this terrible place that I'm in is actually my training ground. This is where I can awaken my inner warrior. This is where I can, it's shitty. Well, I'm going to do the shitty things with a fucking smile on my face. Yeah, it's annoying. I'm going to do the annoying things with a smile on my face. And I was like, I'm going to turn this terrible place into my perfect gym mentally.
Right.
And so I took everything that was bad, and I like, -10 degrees, solid ice road. Okay, I'm running every morning to the end of the road, and I'm tapping that stop sign, and I'm coming back. When I cut down firewood, I'm going to carry, I'm going to cut it up into a log that I can barely carry, and I'm going to carry it all the way back 5 acres to the front of the house. And then I'm never going to leave a log sitting there without it being chopped up and split, ever.
Right.
And so, like, I made all these little rules for myself, and it got to a point where it was like, all right, I need to go get firewood. Good. I can listen to my positive affirmations. I can listen to Audible, and this is my training. Because just like at the gym, it doesn't feel good when you're doing it, but it's the result that you want. So by changing my mindset to, like, I get to do this, from I have to do this, I get to, instead of I have to.
I feel like your mindset with everything is so important, and I don't know, it's very changing to how you can do things or get things done, or it's just interesting, I guess.
I agree. And sometimes frustrations will continue to happen. You just try to, like, breeze by them like they don't, like the GoPro shutting off over and over again.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's just how it goes, and we've gotten better and better at it. And I think regardless of where we go next, everywhere we go is going to be our gym. It's going to be our training ground, and we're going to keep pushing this thing. We're going to keep growing Dogon packs until we are a world-changing brand.
Right.
Because that's what it's about. I mean, look at this stuff. I mean, our packaging is beautiful. Our ingredients are top-notch.
It's in a few different stores.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be knocking on seven stores here once we get this pharmacy finished up.
Right.
I mean, it is phenomenal what we've been able to do, and we've only been able to do it because of you guys.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
just thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody, for everything.
Yes. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to us on YouTube. If you're not following us on TikTok or Facebook, make sure you give us a follow. And, of course, it's all about each one, reach one. If you like what you see here, if you like what we're doing, then I need you to go out and reach one new person that might feel the same way.
More.
Each one, reach one, baby.
But we'll see you later.
Thank you, guys. Surprised it stayed on again.
Among Us.